Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Tuesday, September 19th. It is 6:20 right now. Market's going to open in about 10 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and set up this room real quick and we'll get started shortly with our analysis for today. It's got a couple things here to update and we should be good to go. It's good. A couple more things here. So there. Perfect. Let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. Looks like people are making their way in. So we'll get a few moments for people to join, and then we'll get started shortly with our analysis. All right, perfect. I'll just give it a few more moments for people to join in, and then we'll get started shortly, guys. All right. All right, so I'm going to head over here to the liquidity chart. I'm going to start marking up liquidity over here. So got liquidity marked up right there, there, and there. Let's go down to the daily time frame. That's more liquidity right there, and there. Go down to the 8-hour. Liquidity right there, there. Yeah, go down to the 4-hour. Looks good. Go down to the 2-hour. There, right there. Down to the 1-hour. It's good. Down to the 30-minute. Down to the 15-minute. I'm going to change this color here to low level liquidity. And I think that's about it. Go down to the 10-minute. And it looks like we are good. All right, down to the 1-minute. All right, guys, so looking at liquidity over here, closest level is going to be down below. It's going to be a pretty decent level of liquidity. So if this gets hit, that may be the liquidity push on open. Also, we have another level above over here. Lower level. So the lower level liquidity is going to be 34,843. Again, that's 34,843. That's going to be the low level right here. It's a higher level of liquidity. I think it's a 2-hour level. So this here is going to be stronger than this one, of course. So if you guys plan on taking it, you can either go for 100 pips or you can go for the full 300. It's just up to your preference. I have a feeling it might get hit pre-market, but I mean, we'll see what happens. It's really close to the price right now. So just measuring it, it's about 20 points or 200 pips. So it's very close to where current price is. So this might get hit pre-market before market open, and then it may carry through into the session. So the lower level is going to be 34,843. The upper level over here is going to be 34,969. And those are the closest levels of liquidity. Let's take a look at the overall bias real quick. And I want to take a look at, or let's take a look at the news first. So we had news over here at 5:30. It was building permits and housing starts. It was mixed news for pre-market. And I think that's pretty much all the news for today. So we had news over here at 5:30 and news at 5:55. I'm going to go and mark that up first. So there's news over here at 5:30, obviously the bigger red candle. And then news over here at 5:55. So we had news right there. Let's take a look at the overall bias. So looking over here at retail sentiment, it's pretty much flat neutral, 56% short, 44% long. So it's straight neutral right now with regards to retail sentiment. There's not really much of a direction. Looking over here at the fundamentals are currently, they're down 67 points. So they're pretty much neutral as well. So with that said, we don't really have much of a bias. Let's take a look at the technicals. Short-term technicals are bearish, long-term technicals are bearish. So we have a bit of a mixed bias for today. Technicals are bearish, but everything else is pretty much neutral. So today's overall bias, retail sentiment is neutral. This is 56% short. Fundamental bias is bearish neutral. It's down about 70 points. Short-term technicals, bearish. Long-term technicals, bearish. So we have like more of a bearish neutral bias. So with that said, this lower level of liquidity could be a pretty strong contender if price decides to come down further. So we'll see what happens when the market opens. We got about 1:30 until market opens. When that happens, we'll see what happens from there. And we'll take it as is. So looking at this here, we do have a sell, which may be the case. Our breakout V2 is going to be going that direction. If not, we'll be looking for a possible buy. So we will see, what happens here. So let's see, market. The spread's still kind of wide today, guys. Spread's currently 190 on FTMO. Looking over here at the futures data too, it's currently 1 to 2 points. So I don't know if I'll be able to take those speculative scalps today because the volatility is still very low. It's not where we want it. We are getting closer and closer to fall season though. So hopefully it does pick up over time. So let's see what's here so far. Morning, Dan. Morning, Kenny. Morning, Randy. Morning, Maria. Morning, Karen. Morning, Marcin. Morning, Dan. Morning, everybody. Looks like majority of you guys are here so far. Market is going to open in about 20 seconds. Morning, Rashida. And we'll see what happens. So we'll just play by ear. Liquidity is sitting down below here. So if you do see price start to dump a little bit lower, it's probably going to knock out liquidity down there. So if you guys want to take that, I mean, it's really up to your guys' preference, but that's what to look out for if you are looking to take this here. So it looks like price is dumping pretty down, but you're going to see some crazy movement here. So just be a little bit careful with your entries if you guys are looking to take anything there. So you can see how it kind of spiked around. I wouldn't have taken it right there because this was like immediately on the candle open. So I wouldn't have taken that first when it happened so quickly. You would have missed it basically. There's no way to really catch that unless you had a pending order there, which typically I don't recommend people do. If you did take that liquidity there for 100 pips, looks like you did hit your TP. So, I mean, it's really up to preference. If you guys went for the 100 pips like we typically go for, it would have went straight to your TP, but it came down, blasted a TP, and then reversed right back up. Yeah, exactly. Vince just said liquidity just hit. So we got some crazy candles right here, guys. From my data and from what I pulled up, from the breakout V2 is typically, if you get some crazy movement like this, the breakout V2 is typically going to be very, very risky. So what I might do here is I'm going to watch to see how price moves. And if it continues to spike around a bit, I'm either not going to take a V2, I'll just document it, but I'm probably not going to take it because we've gone through this before. We know how the market moves when we see these crazy types of movements right before the entry. Typically, it's not a good entry. So I'll let you know what I'm thinking, like once it comes time. Like right here, this is possibly a breakout V2 for a buy, but you can see how jumpy price is right here. It's hard as hell where it's going to go. You can see we need 2 green candles. This one was sort of green, and then it came back down. Now it's back to red. So if you get 2 green candles here, it's technically the breakout V2. Right now, I'm not really comfortable taking it. So either I'm not going to take it, or I'll take it on one account, or I'll lower my lot size. So it's a couple different steps there. But right here, you can see where it's kind of jumpy. It's not really clear whether it's going to be green or not. So if you guys want to take this breakout V2, feel free to take it. I do think it's a little risky, but if you guys do want to take it, feel free. Shooting up right there. Let's see. I missed the entry, guys. Or actually, let me see if today's the 19th. Okay, so I tried to take it right now, and I think it literally blasted straight to my TP. But my TP was set at 100 pips, so it just literally went straight to my TP. I didn't realize I even got into it because I clicked on it and it just happened too quickly. But anyways, if you guys are in the position, this is a breakout V2. I got to check my accounts here to see if it took it. Yeah, actually it did take it, but it happened so quickly that it literally went straight to my TP. I went for 100 pips there because I forgot to set this same thing that happened yesterday. Our other strategies only go for 100 pips. So I had my TP set to 100. As soon as I entered, it blasted straight through and went straight to my TP. So instead of going for the 25, it pulled me out right here at the 100 pips with no drawdown. So I don't know if anybody caught that with me. It looks like Maddie caught it for partial. The trade's still technically running. So we're going to follow it here because we're still going to document these entries for the breakout V2. But as I mentioned before, guys, whenever you guys see like these crazy price movements, so you can see down here, it's like so erratic how price is moving. This is usually a risky entry. So I did try to take it here, but my TP was set at 100, so I'm already out. I'll take a screenshot of my profits here. It gave me like pretty much partial profits. It did hit my green strip, so when I take a screenshot of my profits, you'll see that it has the green strip there for the full TP. But my copier kind of like, it's like split. Like you'll see what happened. It gave me like half profit on some accounts. My TFS gave me about 765. My FTMOs gave me about 600. My funded engineer gave me about 600. My 200K FTMO gave me about 1,800. My personal account only gave me 165. So you guys will see that it's kind of all over the place. But the trade is still running. So if you guys want to pull out for profit, feel free to pull out. I will continue following it, but I'm already out of the position, like I mentioned. I kind of gave you guys a warning pre-market, like before it happened. I said, either I'm not going to take it, I'll take it for a partial, or I'll take it for a smaller lot size. Whenever there's like uncertainty with the entry like this, I typically like to be a little more careful with what I'm taking because, obviously I don't want to be caught in a position that I don't feel 100% about. So if you guys don't feel 100% about a position, either don't take it or take it for a smaller lot size, or just follow it, right? You don't have to take every single entry. I think the biggest part with trading here is understanding when not to take a trade or when to lower your risk, because something like this it's just a little too crazy, like how it's moving. Marcin's asking, can you still take the momentum counter scalp if 2 red candles here? Yes, you can. Or no, you can't, because there's no counter scalp yet, Marcin. You need a momentum signal first. So you need to get a sell signal first, and then you need 2 green candles after. So if you need to review that strategy, go ahead and review it. But for that strategy, there needs to be a momentum signal that comes up first. So say, for example, right here, this red sell signal comes up. You're looking for 2 green candles after it, because you need to have one momentum that happens on open. So it looks like the breakout V2 did not play out today, guys. It did exactly kind of what we were anticipating. Whenever you see these crazy price movements right here, like you can see how it kind of spikes out of like the little range where we're going for. typically the trade becomes very, very risky. So I took the trade. I'm going to count this. I'm going to document it in the spreadsheet. But for the official trade, I only took 100 pips. So I'll take a screenshot of my profits real quick and I'll show you guys. Let's see. Marcin, that's not the strategy. So I think you got to go back and review the strategy because you don't, that's not the strategy for the momentum counter scalp. So Marcin's asking, yeah, but on the recent buy signal, market open right here at 6:30, Marcin, you're looking for the momentum signal after market open. So this doesn't count. You have to look for one that happens after. That's why I'm saying you need a sell signal and then you need 2 green candles. So if you need to look at it, Marcin, just pull up a Discord, go over to the momentum counter scalp. The requirements are right here. So even the first requirement here says identify momentum signal after open, right? You pretty much skip that step right there with what you're looking for. So if you can't find the first step, you can't move on to the next step. You basically skip the first step and you went straight to this one right here. Yeah, no, you're good. But yeah, the strategy is completely different. So if you guys are confused with the strategies, make sure that you go back and review them because they're totally different strategies. The breakout V2 does not line up with the counter scalp. So make sure that you guys understand it because if you mix them up, you can take the wrong trade. Like for example, over here, Marcin was thinking about taking the sell already. If you took the sell right here, he'd be in the wrong trade, right? It wouldn't be an actual entry. So, all right, let me just document this real quick, guys. I'm going to put this in the spreadsheet. This isn't the trade I took. So I'm just going to put this in the spreadsheet over here. And then from there, we'll continue on. So it is, let's see, 9/19/23. Entry came up at 6:32, right? Yeah, 6:32. And I'm just documenting this here, but I'll show you guys my profits to show you guys where I pulled out from because 100 pips is kind of where I got out from due to luckily my TP was set at 100, so it just pulled me out immediately. Same thing here, crazy movement back and forth. Win rate is still pretty decent, so the strategy is still good. It's a 1-to-1 strategy. So for the breakout V2, as long as you're above a 50% win rate, you should be in profit regardless because it is a 1-to-1 strategy. Looking over here, I'll take a screenshot of my actual trade that I took. So mine was right here. And then I will take a screenshot of that as well. Okay. So for my breakout here, I got out at 100 pips. So if you guys got out when I basically, told you guys if you guys wanted to pull out for, you guys could have, but it's just really up to your preference. If you guys were listening to my analysis or listening to what I was mentioning, or if you decided to hold on to it. You have to understand like when it's risky and when it's not. For me, if I thought it was good, I would have hopped back in and got the rest of the move, but I already felt like it was risky before the entry even came up. So let me take a screenshot of that real quick. There's no entry for the momentum counter scalp. I'll look for the momentum counter scalp because we are still documenting it, but you need to have a momentum signal before you can look for that. So take a quick screenshot of my copier, and then I'll take the individuals later. So looking at this here, it's so bad. It just happened so quickly. So I'm glad that the slippage did work in my favor, because if it didn't, would have been pretty noticeable. The good thing is it spiked straight to TP, and my TP was already set. All right. supposed to separate. Okay. So here's my accounts right here. So here's my first account. You can see this is my funded engineer. I locked in 600. My FTMO locked in 610. Second FTMO 660. My third account 660. My FTMO 200K account 1,820. This is my funded engineer second account 295. This is my personal account locked in 165, and then both my TFFs down here 765 and 765. So you guys can see how I locked in partial profit. It was supposed to be 1,000, but it locked me out at 600, which I'll still take. You know, I'd rather take profit than a loss. And I just want to show you guys, this is the trade I took. So I took the trade here. I got out at 100 pips. It like literally spiked, closed me out in profit. And that's how I locked in this profit right here. So this is my profit for the day, my profit for the week, and my profit for the month. So pretty solid so far. We'll continue looking for entries here. The next entry that would come up next would be the momentum counter scalp. If the momentum counter scalp doesn't come up by 7, then we'll be looking for momentum pullback scalp. So I'm going to go ahead and start marking up levels for the momentum pullback scalp, and then we will go from there. So guys, just a reminder, you guys have to understand, like when the market's risky, you shouldn't be taking over, like you shouldn't be risking too much, or you should be listening to my analysis, because it's really key that you guys understand when to pull out of the position. You know, you can't like listen to what I'm saying and not follow it and then wonder why you're not finding the same results, right? Because if you've been following every trade I've taken, you should be doing solid, because I did give you guys a heads up for a lot of this stuff here. So like sometimes you guys will see that, like, you know, the trades are a little different, but you can see my overall profits for the month. If you guys listen to exactly what I've been saying this entire month, you should be having a pretty decent profit, because we haven't really had much of a losing week. There was losing trades for the breakout, but there were some days where I mentioned I wasn't going to take it. You know, some people decided to take it anyways. And that's like, it's just up to your preference. But if you guys just follow what I'm doing, you should have no problem with being consistent, because I'm going to point out where it's risky and I'm going to point out where it's safe. So if it's safe, you know, go full risk. If it's not safe, then you would want to be a little more careful with your entries there. But other than that, yeah, exactly. Kip said he was hoping for a directional movement right away, but of course not. No trades for him right now. Yeah, exactly. Kip said just be patient. Remember, no losses is good for a Trap Tuesday. Yeah, today's Trap Tuesday, guys. You guys can see the setup right here. This is a clear example of Trap Tuesday that happened pre-market. Big spike to the downside, spike right back up. I mean, depending if you guys are going for these liquidity pushes. So it's going down for a retest over here of the level. I think if it continues to drop lower, it might even continue dropping. But the first touch over here went straight to 100 pips. And then now it's kind of just sitting sideways right now. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to mark up let me clean this up right here. I'm going to mark up opening price, which was right there. And then I'll mark up structure so that you guys can see. I mean, the main key thing here, guys, is really understanding how the market moves. I think with US30, we've been trading this for so long that we kind of know when not to enter trades and when to be a little careful. There's not really much news today, so it's hard to tell if like there's going to be any volatility. If you guys have been following the news, this is Fed week, so the Fed statement's coming out tomorrow. Seems like volatility may stay a little bit low until that news comes out. But I mean, who knows? You know, there might be some pre-news movement, or there may not. It's just really up to the market. So I don't really want to predict where market's going to go, but we will we'll follow through and see where it ends up going. And you can see right here, price is pretty much just ranging at the moment. It's going back and forth between these two structures, basically between open price, which is the blue line. So there's still no momentum counter scalp. If the counter scalp doesn't come up by 7, there's not going to be an entry. So we'll continue following it, but at the moment right now, there's just nothing for us to take. I mean, even for a momentum pullback scalp, we would need a sell signal, because the trend right now is currently bearish. So until we get something, there's just not much for us